Okay, so this is great. I wasn't sorta gonna do this. I'll try to get this camera because you know we're all about that, you know, on the fly type life here. I wasn't gonna do this, but then I decided what I want to try to do here is swap these buttons onto the SRT steering wheel while obviously not changing the trim. The button colors, yes, that is a middle finger because the button colors are annoying. The button colors are a bluish tint. It's starting to drive me nuts. And also, as somebody mentioned in my Instagram, or was it on the YouTube channel, I don't know what it was, but this does bother me. Having buttons that I don't need on my steering wheel is an issue. So what I'm gonna do, since I don't really have a guide to do this, is kind of try to wing this, take you along with me. If we break things, we break things, because I don't really give a shit about this steering wheel. So this is the perfect chance to start dissecting shit, you know? I wasn't gonna film it, as I said, so what I did off camera was, there's these two screws. There's one here, there's one here. I just dropped one. I took a T20 and zoop, came right off. Now, you would think possibly that would be holding it in. Like I said, I did take my steering wheel off of the Mustang and I swapped it with a GT350, the Alcantara. So I kind of know here and there of what to do, but alright. What I was looking at is on the back there's a little cap, and I kind of took a little pry thing and it came off. As you can see, it's not broken. I didn't fuck it up. But underneath that, there is another, I would assume a T20. Yeah, same size. So what we're gonna do is remove both of these caps, keep everything together. Like I said, this is for experimental purposes. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Who gives a shit, right? So now what I'm gonna do is take out that screw. I think this had something to do with the process if you wanted to, I mean, there is the option that I was reading. I don't know how in-depth I would have to go on to that research, but I was told that you could just change the paddle shifters. I know from Steve White parts that you can order them. Oops. I know you can order them. So, okay. So, we're going to put that on the side. We're going to try to get this other one out. Okay. Beautiful. Now, okay. So, once you remove that, then this whole back piece is flippity flopping. So, I don't know if it, I don't think it disconnects. Yeah, I think this is one unit. This doesn't disconnect, it looks like it's just one unit, so I guess just carefully move it over, and what do you know? If you can see here, there's another bolt underneath. And it's another T20. So let's do that. Let's take that one off. I'm going to keep that one over here. Now, for this to make sense, that would be the last thing holding this in place. And it is. So, that's it. That comes off now. Alright, you know what? Here's my theory. Maybe we need to take these two off, and why would they be the same size? That would make no sense, would it? Nope. Make no sense. So now, oh, I'm no good at this like guessing shit. Except that one time, right? The one time I get it. What the hell size is this one? A T15? You know, what are you gonna do? Alright, so say you remove those two. Yeah, that's what it is. It's gotta be. So that's gonna come off. What else is fucking holding this thing? It's off on this side, right? Is it off on this side? It's off on that side, and it's off completely. Alright. So, now that that's off, basically, there's a clip here, I guess. Okay. So that just comes off. I removed this part already, and I did a couple things off camera. So I put that back on. I was told that I would have to take the steering wheel back off to swap this part. I think I might be able to get away with not doing it. I gotta see what the room is like. Worst case scenario, obviously I'll just take the steering wheel off, but I would prefer to not have to, since it's basically just swapping out two control situations. But anyway, I took the two screws. This is on the right side. The only real difference that I'm noticing is the type of plug is a little bit different. If you look, it's a small plug as opposed to like a fatter one. That's really the only difference. And then with this one, just like the other side, you know, you're gonna pry a little bit and push. Now the good part about this whole setup is what is this? Does this come off or stay? The good part about this whole setup is now I can put this back in and retain my blocked out look. So it gives me a chance to not look like a poser and have buttons that don't do anything. So basically I'm just gonna put this back on. I'm just gonna put the bolts, the screws back in for now, just because I don't want to lose them. Obviously when I get my when I get to putting the other part back on, putting the other thing back on the steering wheel, I'm gonna basically keep those controls back on here. But I just want to keep all this stuff here for now, just because I don't want to lose it. Little parts like this, I got it here, little clips and stuff. All this stuff is not what I want to have to try to find in a pinch. But I think that's pretty much it. I don't know where this last screw went. It went somewhere. We're gonna leave that on the side for right now. And then you got these screws that go, as I did with the last unit, in the back. So basically, that's, you know, debuttoned. So I'm gonna see. I haven't decided at the moment. We're gonna see. So wherever this clip goes, that's where my decision will lie. Am I gonna pull the other steering wheel back off, which isn't a big deal. I just gotta take the fucking battery again, pain in the ass. But either I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna try to do it with the steering wheel on the car. So you're gonna find out in about I had to take the damn thing off. I didn't wanna chance it. So let's get this camera in place here, and let's start first off by getting this out. Right, so now I know from our dealings with the other steering wheel that this comes off, and it's a smaller one. Now let me tell you a little something about the second time you take this steering wheel off. It's a breeze, bro. It's a breeze. Push this down. We're just gonna remove this. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside for a split second. Right now we've got this unit, and this comes off so much easier. Wow, so much easier than the other one. Alright, now before we fuck ourselves, and we get super confused, okay? Now I'm gonna leave those bolts that we did save there. Now what we're gonna do, we know this is the replacement, okay? So I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna move this out of the picture. So we know this is the one we want. So we're gonna try to put this on, and it clipped in, which is a good sign. Now let's see if we can use the same bolts that came with it. That's always a plus. Now I wouldn't go too tight with these. When I loosened them, they didn't feel all that snug. Now we did that. We're gonna put this over. We're gonna connect this right back into the connector. Rest this down inside. Make sure that you're resting things inside and not on top of something it could scratch, because let me tell you, I've done many a stupid thing. Alright, so that's in there nice and tight. It's nice and snug. We got a clip. I'm gonna put this back in. Now make sure you tuck that over in that little snuggy hold there. Now make sure you keep your hand on the back side of this. You're gonna move this out of the way. We're gonna screw this down. Right. I would just get that to the point where it's snug but not crazy. Next, we're gonna put number 2 screw back on, which is this one. Just try to help you out here. Put this one back in. You're just gonna go until it doesn't go anymore. And we're gonna put, of course, out of 2 caps, I picked the wrong one. Just gonna go and put that cap back on. I'm gonna come here and take the last screw, tighten that one down. That's one side. We're almost done, people. We're almost done. This should be, yep. Just be careful not to scratch, because this is one that you don't want to fudge up. Pretty new setup, right? We're gonna pop that right over. Clips into place. And make sure you watch for any entanglements. Just try your best to make sure it's nice and tucked somehow. Snake it in. Okay. Alright, so this is the new setup. We got the button blockers back. Everything's good to go. You always got to put your hand here out of fear that you're going to get smacked in the face with an airbag. This is what the stock steering wheel setup looks like. I'm gonna shut these windows because I am inside. The garage door is open, so don't worry about fumes. I'm not gonna die. But you see how the lights are? They're white, like the rest of the dash. So that's good. And now I have my button delete back, where I don't have to worry about being a poser. I don't have buttons that don't do anything. And you know, basically all is right with the world. So it looks better. I'm happy. It did take a little bit extra time. I'll try not to make this video too long, because obviously this is kind of like a part 2 to the steering wheel setup, and that's probably what I'll title this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. Always down for suggestions. If there's stuff you want to see, just let me know. I'm down for anything.